All right, now that we have the whole garage cleared up, this chapter is called Responsibility. It's doing everything that has to be done. Cleaning up the garage is a big responsibility. Maintaining it clean, maintaining a good workplace, whether it's for fun stuff or whether it's for business, that's definitely a priority. And now also maintaining the life of the vehicles that are not used for fucking around per se. This is the family vehicle. This is the one that gets us on trips. We're able to go to the lake, go fishing, stuff like that when the whole family needs to climb on board. So it's priority number one because we can't do any of those things unless this is around. I could pack everybody in the Cadillac. I could pack everybody in the Jeep. But this is the comfy one. This is the one where everybody gets to relax and everybody feels like they can fit in there. And so we're gonna go ahead and pull out the engine out of there. Mainly to do the rear main seal. You might feel like, oh, it'd be a lot easier to go from the transmission. Maybe that's the way that you've seen it. And yes, in some ways it would be. I think if I was in the garage at work, I had access to the lift, I would definitely do it the transmission side, just to get it out of the way. Unfortunately, we don't have that here. This is all done on the ground and on some jack stands. I find it a lot easier to pull out an engine than I do to take out the transmission, take out the transmission lines, take out the drive shaft, take off both transfer cases, and in some cases the axle in the front, depending on how much clearance I have for the oil pan. There's definitely sometimes where I leave a bolt or two that, ran off on me. Hope it makes some good content. This part, it's not glamorous by any means, but if you love it, then you don't see a big difference with what's priority and what's responsibility and what's fun. So let's get to it. Let me get started on getting the front taken care of. Responsibility. The state of being accountable for one's actions, decisions, and duties. It involves fulfilling obligations, acting reliably, and accepting the consequences of what one does or fails to do. I've had this developmental concept ingrained in my mind since the age of 6, and I can't fathom an existence without it. The concept of responsibility was never presented to me as an option. Instead, it was always mandated. I was told, if you want good things, you better go out there and make them happen. And if your life is crumbling around you, it's probably because you failed to build good foundations. As a child, I hated and had a hard time accepting that my decisions and actions had consequences. What I hated the most was watching people make decisions and then play victim to their own consequences. So I'm thankful. I'm thankful that it was never an option. Because without it, I could never begin to understand our world's most important question. Why? That lack of control in those around me was a major push in my personality to become, quote, the fixer. The one with all the answers. The one who failed, lost it all, then learned the lesson so that you didn't have to.
We interrupt this program for an important news announcement.
Did I have to take off the front bumper? No, probably not. But it did make it a lot easier, especially me being this small. I'm only 5'5". It's a lot harder for me to climb in the engine bay and do all that stuff. So I appreciate the bash bar that's up in front that I can use as a stepping ladder and not have to worry about damaging the front grille. My love for cars developed as far back as the infant memory of my uncle's Harley, kick-starting in the living room while he took care of me. And though the exhaust fumes that filled the air in that tiny studio apartment most likely killed a couple brain cells, and probably had a hand at making the automotive addiction stronger, it was not the driving force. It in fact stemmed from my need to find worth in this earth and prove to those around me, but mostly me, I am worth keeping around. In therapy as a youth, they told me, validating my worth by the scale of how much I help people around me is unhealthy. But for some reason, they also chose to stay blind to all the wonderful things that I learned while in my pursuit for that horizon line. That line that would have undeniably proven to me I am worthy of basking in the sunlight.
We started taking everything out. The entire bottom is caked with oil. And took out all the little bits. Label all the bits. Can you see the bits? Bits. Motor mount stuff. Bell housing. Expo marker. Transmission line starter. Belt tensioners. All the little bits. Labeling. Label things so they don't go everywhere. And clean your tools at the end of the day. And kiss your dogs. Especially these.
So against my better health, I learned how to take apart my computer, my mom's vacuum, the TV remote, learned how to do landscape, interior decorate, house remodeling, worked in carpentry, plumbing, electrical, concrete cutting, couch making, learned to weld and fabricate, how to apply a tourniquet, learned a bit of Python and JavaScript, and of course, how to take apart an engine, rebuild it, and put it into a car it should never have been in, and let the gas pedal inject serotonin straight into my brain. But for all those cars and homes I helped build for other people, all the dreams I helped fund, and all the wounds I nurture and help heal, I never received that sought-after worthiness trophy we're all seeking for. So I got lost and wandered aimlessly in the darkest oceans, and before I knew it, I had lost 25 years looking for the sunlight. And after almost drowning for one last time, I decided to look around, and I realized I was the one glowing the whole time. So I dusted my tools and cleaned my garage. And as I crawled back into that engine bay to adjust the timing and tune that fucking carburetor again, so it can perform at its best through this new season, I remember responsibility, the state of being accountable for one's actions, decisions, and duties. It involves fulfilling obligations, acting reliably, and accepting the consequences of what one does or fails to do. All that work just because of that. You guys see that? See, everything's looking well. I would really like to rebuild it as we're in here, but fortunately, it's not in the cards today. But I want to fix that rear main seal. Kind of sucks that we gotta do all this work for just that, but it's worth it. It'll be worth it. It's fun. Still fun. I'm digging being hands deep back in there again. Haven't done this in a while. So, yeah. Thank you for watching.
I never want to let go, no matter what the future holds. I never want to lose the spark, even when the world feels dark. I never want to let go, believing everything will grow. I never want to lose this As if time itself could cease.